What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are on a fantastic day today. And today we have episode 0 for Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. If you guys are, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on the notification bell so you guys never miss out on any content to come. So as you guys can finally tell, a 6-month project that's been long overdue, something you guys have been so excited about. As you guys can tell right here, we have Phoenix Sky Harbor out on the table, and I am really excited to go over this for you guys. This has been a really up and coming project. I got a couple things to say real quick. First and foremost, if you hear a lot of loud noises or probably music in the background, it's just having a birthday party, but we gotta keep filming, we gotta keep doing what we're doing. So we are going over this now, so I apologize if that's a factor. But anyway, so we have a lot to go over here, as you guys can tell. I'm gonna give you guys a couple of little basic things real quick, and then I'm gonna go over the history through voiceover, and then we're gonna go over everything you need to know about my replica of Phoenix Sky Harbor Model Airport. So as you guys can tell, it's finally here. It is ginormous. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to take you guys off the tripod, and we're just gonna take a look at this. So here it is, guys. It is ginormous. It's about 15 feet long by about 6 for the boards, which is beyond crazy. It's by far the biggest replica I've done, and believe it or not, we actually got pretty much every core component out here, which is super exciting. So yeah, I'm gonna go over everything you guys need to know in the moment, but first and foremost, I'm gonna give you guys pretty much the rundown of Phoenix Sky Harbor from when it began to the present, and then we are going to go into my replica and what you guys can expect.
Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport opened in 1928. The first commercial service was on an airline by the name of Standard. TWA was another early airline, as they started service to San Francisco in 1938. After World War II, the crosswind runway was eliminated to begin construction on Terminal 2. American TWA had big service in the 1960s. Terminal 2 opened in 1962. The airport proceeded through the 70s and 80s as big change was on the horizon. Southwest Airlines began service in 1982, which would lead to one of Southwest's biggest operations to date. Terminal 3 opened in 1979. In 1989, ground broke for Terminal 4, and that opened on November 2nd, 1990, with concourses N2, N3, S3, and S4. In 1994, Phoenix's only international concourse, N4, opened. British Airways had the first international flight to London Heathrow on DC-10, which still operates to this day. In 1998, with the rise of America West, despite financial issues, continued to build their largest presence at Phoenix. Concourse N1 was opened. In 2004, Concourse N2 opened for Southwest as their growth continued as well. America West fell through in 2005 as US Airways came in and took over to continue building the hub. American Airlines later did the same from the 2013 to 2015 kind of times. Terminal 2 closed in February 2020 as Terminal 3 received a massive overhaul. The current day Phoenix consists of 9 concourses. Terminal 3, otherwise as the John S. McCain Terminal, consists of 20 gates. Terminal 4, also known as the Barry Godwire Concourse, consists of 84 gates across 7 concourses, soon to be 8 across 91, as Southwest and Phoenix are planning to add a new 7-gate concourse, S1, in 2022. Phoenix carried 46 million passengers in 2019. Phoenix was the 13th busiest airport in the United States and 44th worldwide. Wall Street Journal gave Phoenix the Best of the 20 Largest U.S. Airports award. With 3 runways, 826, 7 left, 25 right, 7 right, 25 left, 103 gates, and 1.721 billion passengers from 1951 to 2019. Welcome to Phoenix Sky Harbor.
Okay, so as you guys saw, we had a lot going over there, so we are going to begin with the replica. I'm going to start down there, or actually, yeah, I'll start down there with everything else, and we'll talk about everything coming down the line. So yeah, as you guys can tell from this aerial overview, this is Phoenix. I showed you guys pretty much the whole rundown. We are going to begin down here with the far west side of the airport, and yeah, so what you guys can expect, you guys pretty much know. Most of my airports do not really contain runways. We don't really have that much, so we pretty much represent all of the concourse stuff and everything. So As you guys know, Phoenix Sky Harbor is normally obviously we're starting during the pandemic, but I'll kind of talk about that towards the end, but Phoenix is normally the 13th largest airport in the United States and 44th worldwide. So it is ginormous. So we have quite a lot of stuff. So if you guys are unaware, as you guys just heard, the main core airlines for Phoenix is American Airlines and Southwest Airlines. Those two airlines hold pretty much like 80% of all the flights here at Phoenix Sky Harbor. So kind of like Dallas, just kind of, but by the time you throw in the Southwest, it really shows how big Phoenix is. So what my reference was, sorry guys, this is kind of a different type video, but the main reason I'm doing this is because I always like to kind of give my viewers and everybody representation of what the actual airport looks like, especially with now the new motion style of the airport updates where we go plane by plane. You guys don't really get to see the whole thing in its full presence. So I thought this would be a great time to do that in episode 0 and give you guys kind of the rundown. As you guys know, in the previous airport updates when we started new airports, I kind of gave you guys everything because they were more of a size to where that was doable. But this honestly needs a whole video to kind of go over everything and not waste too much time in the first update. I'll talk about the first update towards the end. But as you guys can tell, like I said, there's a lot that are left able for expansion, and there's a lot of stuff still to be done. We still have a couple of pieces that need to be done to what we have out right now, and then cargo ramp, potential runway, and quite a few things that are going to make this great. So yeah, we have 6 fold-up tables out here, which is pretty much what everything is sitting on, and then barely ran out of room, so I have this little chair thing under here that is propping up the rest of it. But we'll be getting down here. And as you guys can tell, this is Terminal 3 South. Now, like you guys heard, Terminal 1 was demolished back in the day, a long time ago. So, obviously that's not here. And they never got around to labeling the airports. Or sorry, not the airports. They never got around to relabeling the concourses. Not the airport, it's always been Phoenix Sky Harbor. Now, Concourse 2 was probably right where this shelf is, a little farther maybe. This is where pretty much back in the day, it ran from 1962 to February 2020 when it got demolished. So Concourse 2 was pretty much where all the, kind of where everything was established. T1 was very present, and then T2 was put into place, and that's where they started with all the other airlines pretty much. I'm not the biggest expert, but if you know anything that I missed in this video, please let me know. But the history side, I'm doing this before the history, so I'm trying my best, but there was a lot going on at T2, and that was demolished, and as of right now, I believe it's supposed to be the area now, which is about here. It's supposed to be apron mark or ramp areas for aircraft to deplane by air stairs. As you can tell, we literally have maybe 1.5 feet right here left, and I can't scoot down any more down there. I try, it's already ginormous as it is. So there's a couple options for what I could do. Maybe we can talk about this some. First and foremost, what I could do is leave it, depending on what they decide to do, but obviously with the pandemic, who knows how long that's gonna take. Another option is potentially put the apron area right here, but that's kind of just the afterthought. That's expansion. I'll talk about the expansion stuff towards the end, but we need to get into the concourses. So as you guys can tell right here, this is Terminal 3 South. Terminal 3, like I said, 1979, and it all got redone in 2020. So obviously, Terminal 3 is made up of 2 concourses, as you can see right here. Concourse, the South Concourse, Terminal 3 South, as it's mainly referred to, is called John S. McCain III, kind of hints at the Terminal 3 name, and that's kind of what it is. So in real life, as you guys will see through the aerial screenshot, right here, it's a lot more spread out. You have an actual check-in building and everything, but due to the replica size and kind of condensing things down, which you kind of have to do with an airport this big, it is literally impossible to fit everything. We have just the 2 actual concourse pieces. So as you can tell, we don't have much room right here, so I may just connect them up, maybe try to get a little check-in area thing with the ramp going right here, but not really planning on it. So here it is, that's a T3 South, runway 826, or sorry, 7 right, I think that would be, sorry, okay, 7 left, 25 is the runway right here, and then the parallel runway is on the other side. So we have 1 taxiway, then our black spot, which I really was happy with these. black apron pieces I did. I thought they were really good. Really went off of Aviation 18's tutorial on how to make a model airport to do that. Just did frog tape, painted it over 3 times, and there we go. So as you guys can tell, this is T3 South. This is one of the main 2 concourses that host the other flights, as I kind of got at, are non-American Southwest flights pretty much. Non-American and Southwest, sorry. That's what I was trying to say. So this is a 10-gate concourse. This was recently redone in 2020, or it started in December 2019, but got wrapped up about April 2020, I believe, somewhere in Q1, 2. So as you guys can tell, we have 10 gates. This mainly hosts mainly the rest of the flights. So the big presence here would be Frontier, as they use gates Foxtrot 1, 2. Spirit uses F3, and JetBlue also uses F3, and then United uses gates, or sorry, not United, that's T3 North. And Delta uses gates F5, 7, 9, 8, 4, and then there are 6, 10, and then their overflow gate is F2. So let's get a visual representation of this. Frontier's gates 1 and 2. Delta does use this gate on occasion for overflow flights. Gate 1, this is Frontier's main gate, and then they also use 2 a lot. 3, JetBlue Spirit right here. F4, this is hosting by Delta, and pretty much the rest of this on is Delta. Now, when I was looking online, Hawaiian has not came back since the pandemic, so they have not been back since these concourses have been reconstructed, pretty much. They left about March. And if I know we're gonna have a lot of Phoenix fans, which is fantastic, much needed. So if you know what the situation with Hawaiian is, please let me know. So, yeah, the rest of this is Delta. Now, currently, this is the only wide body gate at concourse, or at T3 at all, between the 2 concourses, is F9. So Delta did fly mainline aircraft, mainly the A330, but also the 767 here before everything happened. Sorry, this board kind of moved. I'll talk about that in a moment. So I'm not sure if this is the plan for Hawaiian or what they're going to do, but we'll figure that out, and hopefully somebody can help me. Obviously, as you can tell, my measurements were slightly off, and I ran just barely out of room by about 5 inches. So I had to make this board. We could definitely have some accidents on here, so I'm going to be very careful. Probably what I'll do is, when we're not using this gate in natural scene, I'm just going to throw it over there on the wall. So I'm only going to use it when we have natural aircraft. Now, technically, you can make a wide body gate out of gates Foxtrot 8 Alpha, which is a converted gate from F8 to make a wide body if F9 is not being used, and then F10, which wide body if F9 is not being used, and then the normal F10 gate. So obviously in Reno room, have this little here. So if we want to do anything here, we can maybe get a couple ramps in somehow, just put them here in the corner or something, but that's an option as well. And then it would be probably a little too much to even think about expanding right there. So here's where we're at with that. So here's once again, T3 South. Lots of gates, or 10 solid gates here, mainly Delta, but a handful of the other carriers are here as well. As we can transition over into T3 North, this is the concourse for the rest of the other airlines, which would be United at gates E1, 3, 5, and E9. Followed by that, pretty much Alaska does the rest at E4, 2, and 6 on the opposite side. And the only other airline, Contour, I can't, because the old gate assignments, it was like, as I have March 16, 18, I'll talk about what happened in a moment, but this is pretty much where Contour was. And then Sun Country apparently goes out of T3 North as well, or it's one of the concourses, I can't name it, but if I had to guess, it's probably T3 North since it's pretty open, so we're gonna have to find that out. But I couldn't find it through Flight Radar 24 because their thing's kind of jacked up. They don't like give the information. Now I did this part first, actually. This was, oh boy, probably all the way back in late April, early May, if to put it in the retrospective, when I did this actual apron. I got on Google Earth probably 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and they finally had the updated satellite. I had this all marked correctly, and this is significantly changed. Pretty much what we have is 10 narrow body gates like this. But in the old representation, Delta actually used this while this was happening, and the rest of those guys were at T2. So for T3, now this is all redone. This is all narrow body gates. Again, this is one of the things that we'll redo. It's not hard, just paint over it and redo the new gate. So just 10 narrow body gates, but this is close. Obviously we have, I think 10 gates on the dot. So it's very similar, but these are not wide body representations. So This will have to be a redo, of course. And I'm sorry about this line. It's like, the cuts were kind of uneven in places, so it would make that look kind of janky if I did it like that, but there you go. So, like I said, E1, 3, 5, and then 9. So United pretty much uses this whole east half of the concourse, T3 North, and these are 5 narrow body gates. Then Alaska is these 3, and then these are 2 narrows. So I'm assuming Contour's probably somewhere in here, and then Sun Country. And I think I got everybody. Yes. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. If anybody knows, please let me know. But that will probably be incorrect for the first update, which we'll talk about at the end once again, but super, super excited. And once again, we have everything going here. We have our little taxiway, and then the black space and everything else. So, T3, like I said, awesome concourses here, and they're gonna be great. 20 gates-ish, and then the ramps, we'll have to figure that out at a later date. I'll talk about cargo and runways and all that at the end, but first and foremost, we have a lot of concourses over here. All right, so Terminal 4. Terminal 4 obviously doesn't look like a terminal, but it is. This is a full terminal of 8 concourse, or 8 upcoming concourses, 7 currently. So T4 opened in 1990 for $240 million, as I stated, which is beyond crazy. It is named Barry M. Godwater. No, like the 4th or anything, just Barry M. Godwater from what I found. 84 gates at the current time. That's soon to be 91, I think, is what it will be to after S1, but we'll talk about that. So these will be referred to T3 North, T3 South. Pretty simple. This is where it gets a little more complicated. So, like I said in the video, or in the voiceover, we started with these 4 concourses here in the middle. I'll go one by one in a moment, but we started with N2 and N3. It goes from left to or from my right to the left, but if you were looking at it from the south, it would be the other way around, obviously. Start with these 2, and then those back to S2 and 3. And looking through here, I kind of did my notes really weird, but yeah, the main reason for S2 and 3, the S's, that was when Southwest mainly came in here. They had to pretty much build up for them. But America West was the main reason, was the main airline come in here. Like I said, America West and Continental had their agreements, so they had big things going out of here. Then N1, like I said, that opened in 1998 mainly for the America West expansion. Yes, and then, sorry, I was a little off the timeline. 1994, that's when the N4, I have a really hard time keeping this, but we're looking at it from the north. I'll show you guys from the south in a moment when we go over there. And then N4 was constructed in 1994, the first international terminal, and all the aprons here, to my knowledge, are correct. I know they were doing a little construction on these corners and in the middle in places, but I think it's fairly correct. On the north side, I think it's like 50-ish gates, something like that, but this is all pretty much American, but that not quite all American. But the only other airlines that are serving here are British Airways, which they're currently suspended flights, WestJet currently suspended, and Volaris, which they are back, and they're at gate B26, which is right here. So this is Volaris's gate, and I think WestJet normally uses these 2 gates. I saw it on the aerial. And then our 1 wide body gate. This was for the British Airways 747 now, whatever, it's gonna be 787 or whatever, when they return, which hopefully soon. No American flight to London right now, so that's very unfortunate. And then Eurowings is supposed to start in, okay, I didn't write. I think it's like February or April 2021. So we'll see them. Contour's still scheduled seasonally. Haven't heard about them. And nothing on JSX. Also, Boutique Air is T3. I'm not sure where. So these 3 concourses, we'll start down here at N1. I'll try to refer to them like this because it's a really weird orientation. So N1 is hosted all by American Airlines. It's 14 gates. They really have it numbered weird. So pretty much the A gates for T4 North start at this concourse and they end here, backwards numbered. And then the B gates do start here and then they go through. So kind of from where they originated and then expanded outwise. So this hosts gates Alpha, I want to say, I think it's 17 through 30. and like 13, 14 gates, something like that, and have a big presence here for American. This is where they do mainly, this is one of the only concourses where they do just mainline operations. If anybody knows like where the Neos file out of, or particular things like where the 320s exactly are, 737, stuff like that, please let me know. But to my knowledge, it's just all random for the mainline stuff. They just park at any of these A concourse gates. So hopefully I can look over the board, get some trends going, and figure out what's what. But obviously we have our black portion right here, another little text area off right here. I was really happy with how these corners came out. I thought they looked pretty good. So we have that right there. This is N1, followed by N2. All right, N2 obviously was one of the original concourses from Terminal 4, and it hosts gates Alpha 1 through 14, so 14 gate concourse. To my knowledge, there's the one regional gate and then the 13 mainline. I'm sure they do a couple of regional flights here and there out of this concourse, but it's mainly mainline as well. Obviously, America West had their big presence in US Airways, and then American Airlines establishing it into one of their biggest hubs to date. So this is where you're going to see a lot of the mainline flights as well for American, these two concourses, and this will be referred to as N2. And this is N3. This is hosted by American as well. There are a couple more regional gates, but this is where the Bravo section of the concourse starts. It goes from Bravo 1 to Bravo 14, and we have the 3 RJ gates and the 11 mainline. Once again, this is all American hosted, and you're going to find mainly mainline flights, but also a handful of their regional services as well. I've seen pictures from that area. There's a parking garage in the middle there. I'll talk about that in a moment when we get to that intermission stage between the in and south concourses for T4. But I think there's definitely some more RJ flights out of here, and this is where you're going to find mainly American mainline, but also going to see quite a bit of American Eagle, which I'll talk about when we get to the next concourse. Speaking of the next concourse, again, another area right here. Got a little off, but it looks better like this, so that's why it's a little off, but it doesn't really bug me, just like a couple centimeters. Then another one, and then this is N4. Like I stated, this is the only international concourse at Phoenix, hosted of the rest of the Bravo gates, which go from Bravo 15 with the one A and B to B28, which would lead us to like 12 or 13 gates again. Obviously a very nice concourse. And we have, like I mentioned, I think this is Volaris, WestJet for these two, and then the international gate, which is kind of One World, and then a couple others as well. And then there's that one gate in the middle, which is Bravo 1, which 1A or whatever, which I think links with that one. So once again, only international concourse, and then there's quite a few here. We have 4 right there, 3 right there, and then that hybrid one in the middle. So this is where quite a few of the American Eagle flights are. You're going to see some mainline as well on top of the international flights here on the corner. So yeah, here is Terminal 4 North. This is hosted by American Airlines for the most part, but you have a couple of the internationals in here as well. So rocking through here, like 50 gates or so, quite a few, and really good. So as you guys can see, the lighting's going to vary per season, especially for this airport since it's so big. On some of the other airports, I can move table positions per update. Now, if I tried to lay this out horizontally in my room, I'll try to see if I can get a representation of that, if I can get around here. If I tried to lay this out like down, like that, it honestly wouldn't work for many reasons. First and foremost, it's too wide and probably barely too long, but we have a lot more room in between here than a lot more room in between there. And with all that crap, we got remains from Massive Unboxing 10, and then just a stack of boxes I need to organize and all that. It wouldn't work. So the lighting, we have to make do with what we have. So pretty much this window right here, in the winter, it's gonna do really well on shining on mainly these first two, but we're also gonna see some light come on to these two concourses as well. I don't think it gets that far. It's been a couple sleeps since I've been able to see how far the light goes in the winter down there, but the sun obviously has fun orientation during the summer and winter. So as you can see right now, we're in late Q3, actually Q4 now technically when we're recording this, but sun's gonna get higher during the summer, lower during the winter, so light's gonna shine. Now that we have 2 windows, so it kind of makes some difference, but it's gonna get pretty good in the winter, and then in the summer, it's gonna be iffy because when the sun's higher, it goes straighter down, if you guys know what I mean, kind of tilts. So this window mainly does like here, and then it kind of beams off towards this side. And then obviously we have the big gap. I would honestly love one big window here. That would be beyond epic, but unfortunately we do not have that. So we have this window. What I plan to do, especially during the summer when we don't have great abilities, is we're gonna pull it back, do this side, and then we'll push it back and do this side, which leads me to the next window. This is the other window that's present here in the room. So once again, in the winter, this side's gonna be a struggle as well. It's kind of perks. Winter's good here, summer's not. Summer's great here, winter's not, because for this side, when we do it in the summer, gets higher, and then it goes kind of, in the winter, as you guys have been able to tell through the airport updates, it pushes and then it comes down. But due to this slope on my house right here, it goes really far back, and then there's barely any time right here. And then it's so far over there that it gets messed up. But in the summer, when it goes higher, it kind of, as you guys can kind of still see, it kind of goes in that more straight motion. So it brights out really good right here during the summer. So it's going to be per season. It's really tough, but we'll be able to make it work. Once again, summer we'll be able to be doing this side pretty easy. And then during the winter, I'll have to figure it out. But that's kind of for now. Now, in the middle here, it's kind of probably looking a little goofy. I'll explain it. Normally there's probably, honestly, in real life, like probably that much room between the actual two sides, north and south. But obviously due to condensed reasons, and we're already taking up room, I can't, my desk right there, guys, I gotta operate somehow. So this is what we have for the in-between. My original goal was to have something here already. Unfortunately, I haven't quite got there yet. I wanted to see how it would look before I decided to do something here in the middle. And I'm glad I did, because my original plan was to probably do a 1-inch deal down the middle, because if you're unaware, all these connect per side. So the north has a little 1-inch thing, or roughly, but a little piece that goes all the way down and connects the concourses. Same for the south, about 1 inch, and then goes all the way down. So what I'm gonna do to make that, kind of get that visual illusion effect, but not go overkill, a 2x4 actually fits perfectly in this little slot. So I'm gonna do a 2x4 starting here, and then it's gonna go all the way down till the end of N1 down there. It's gonna get hard to get used to saying that, but it will go all the way down till right here. And that will represent the in-between visual effect. And they'll connect, so it'll look a little better in my opinion. Especially for the size, 2x4 works great right there. I do have one, for example. As you can tell, it's pretty much perfect. So I'll paint that this color, which what the color is, thank you to the guys that let me know that. Man, they are loud. And that's how that's going. So we normally have like parking garages and all kinds of stuff here in the middle, but for the model airport, it will just go through. Now, on to Southwest's portion of the airport, which is pretty large. So the Southwest portion, obviously we have 3 concourses at the current time, a soon 4th to be added, but I'll talk about them in a moment. So the original concourses that were added were N2 and 3. Obviously with Southwest coming in 1982, they were looking to make it a big establishment. So they built these 2 little concourses, about 10 gates each. The exact number would be 8 and 8 and 8 for these 2. And established here with Southwest. For S4, I may have wrote this wrong. I'm sorry if I did. I don't think I did, but 2 of them started, and then I thought it was this one, but maybe it was these 2 that started and that one that was constructed. But one of them at some point was constructed in 2004 for Southwest growth. So that was constructed. I thought it was this one, but this one obviously has 8 gates as well. And these make up the actual gates. Now these are actually numbered normally. So this is the 1s, and then 11 through 19s right here. I'm not sure if they're gonna renumber them or not. We're gonna have to see. Actually, I think they're kind of set up weird. I'll have to go down there and look. But I think those are actually labeled as something different. I'll have to look, but we'll go by each one. So each one of these, exclusive Southwest, no exceptions, to my knowledge. If anybody knows anything different, let me know. So if you guys are wondering, these are actually 2x6s. I did these because they were a lot wider. If I did the 2x4s, by the time we had these gates here wrapping around, it was impossible for a 2x4 to look good or look decent in the middle, because it was literally 4 inches between, so it literally made no sense. So 2x6 was what we had to do for these. So we have gates 11 through 19 right here. This is hosted by Southwest, and I'm assuming it just all kind of varies on what flights go where, 700, 800s, but all Southwest pretty much to my knowledge. So we have S4 right here, looking good. Then we have the taxiway and everything. And then I'll talk about it in a moment, but there's hangar stuff over here and a couple other things as well. Now, give me a little break because this is kind of hard to get to. And for the fold-up tables, I still have right there a foot left. So definitely runway potential here. So I'm thinking to do the 826, but we'll talk about that in a moment. S3 right here, this hosts gates 1 through 9. Sorry, I guess there must be 9 gates here. I don't have a 5. I do not see a 5. So that may have been on me, but that may be a natural mistake on their apron. We'll have to go look. Now this obviously has its little tilt problem. I'm not sure how I want to attack that yet, but obviously it looks a lot better right there. So what I'll probably do is try to get a really small 20-pound weight or something, put that there. But this is the host of Southwest for S3. This hosts obviously Southwest Airlines and all their operations here. And then I didn't do a black borderline because it was honestly really small, so I didn't think it was necessary. And then here is S2. This is present to obviously Southwest Airlines with, now these are marked through D, which that's what I thought, because the new concourse, I saw something online and it said something about D. So these are kind of, I think they're supposed to be C, but they're just numbers. So, and these are marked D1 through 8, which sounds correct. Now apparently I'll talk about that in a moment, but I had to cut that. I was a little off on these. They're so interchangeable. I accidentally messed it up. So I had to cut about 1 inch off of that one because I got one in the wrong spot. So I think it was that one. So yeah, that back's gonna look pretty bad, but by the time we get the 2x4 running down the middle, it's gonna look good. And what I'm gonna do is, I know it kind of looks pretty big gap right there. I'm just gonna scoot everything back, and probably for aesthetic purposes, I'll bring it out for the aircraft and then push it back when we're doing overviews or something. Now right here, this is a nice blank area, and you guys are probably knowing what I'm saying now. This is Southwest Airlines, again, with the big expansion, or big growth before everything happened. They were set to have a brand new concourse constructed. To my knowledge, it is still being constructed at the current time. Southwest and Phoenix Airport came to an agreement to build S1, which is going to host more Southwest flights. To my, what I saw is supposed to be gates D 11 through 18, so 7 gates, just exactly like that, just 7 gates. At the current time, there's nothing on the apron. It's just a bunch of broken ground right here. I know it's painted literally only gray, but imagine just construction stuff right here pretty much. It's supposed to be completed in 2022 with 7 gates, and it'll be an exciting element to see how that develops. So I'm kind of gonna build it as it gets built in real life. So we'll have just the block stage, and then we'll have the painting stage, then we'll have the windows, then a handful of gates, and then when it opens, hopefully soon, then we'll have that. I'm not sure if that's got suspended. I'm not sure what the status is, but that's supposed to happen. So we're really looking forward to that, and I'm really excited to see that. And then S1 through here. So that pretty much wraps up all the concourses. There's quite a few. I believe there's going to be 10 when all said and done at the current time, and I'm really, really excited. So that piece is going to remain blank, and I'm really excited to see the future of it. So obviously there's still quite a few things that you guys are probably wondering about extra stuff. So as you guys know, like I said kind of in the beginning of the video, you guys are probably wondering what my plan is with runways, cargo, and all that stuff. So like I said with the apron, I'm not sure what I want to do with that. We'll see. So the first thing that I'm probably looking to do, because it's going to be the most reasonable and realistic thing, is a runway. What I'm planning to do is, obviously in the middle, on these big airports especially, you have multiple taxiways throughout and then the runway or whatever. So I didn't realize there was going to be this much room left for fold-up tables. We honestly could make this work. I can move that back or whatever, and we can get 2 more fold-up tables. That's $100, but we can make it happen. So, but that's not what I'm planning to do. Since we still have a foot left on that side unutilized, it would make literally no sense not to have a runway. So what I'm thinking, not sure if this is going to be like early 2021 or even sooner than that. My plan is to get Phoenix up and running, which we pretty much are there, and then work on a couple other things, working on a Tulsa redo, and then probably my Cabo, Mexico airport. We'll talk about that more in upcoming channel updates in the future and upcoming videos. But The expansion stuff for Phoenix, I'm not sure when I want to begin on that. So what I'm thinking is, since we have a foot left utilized, I'm planning to do a runway here and just stretch it all the way across on 2 8x4s or whatever, get it all the way to there, and then push it all back, and then have 2 more, 3, whatever boards. Actually, still have a long 8-foot piece that I forgot about from wood. So that I actually have pretty much everything I need ready to do that. So I'll be ready to design 826. That's going to be a project, but it'll look really good. So what I was saying was, we're just going to go off here and just turn this into the runway and just go all the way down just to save space. I don't think another taxiway in the middle here is necessary, especially when we have all the not quite enough aircraft to make that look completely filled. But we're going to be able to have a runway here, and that's going to look really good. Next up, the next thing I want to talk about, because it's really became a big establishment over time, is my cargo section. So obviously, most of my airports, I don't have cargo ramps. I think Tulsa and Dallas are about it. So obviously, my desk is kind of the problem. My desk takes up this whole corner. If we didn't have that, we would have a lot more flexibility, but we have the desk, and I kind of have to work around that. As you guys can see right here, we still have a solid, probably 6 feet or whatever. So what I'm thinking is, we have the parallel runways here, and then we have the cargo ramp on the south side, and unfortunately it's vertical, north to south, which means it's going to be very hard to represent if I were to do it realistically. So what I'm thinking is, I know it's not realistic really, but I do want to have something to represent that. Or there may be another cargo ramp, I could be wrong on that, or I'm not sure, but I think the primary one's south of the 725s. So what I'm thinking is, we're probably going to use this table or something, and we'll probably just have it connect, probably right here, and we'll just have it come down to wherever, here or whatever, and I'll build the concourse, and we're going to have like 5 or 6 cargo gates. I think that's the best way to go about it. It would be nice to have those 2 runways, but it's just going to take up way too much room, and I would rather have the cargo section than not do it at all. And if it were to work, maybe, I don't know. There's obviously still room. I can shove this back and forth, but I can't push it left and right. That's kind of the thing. So we'll have to see. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do here yet, but there's definitely a lot of potential with that. So the cargo ramp, I'm looking to do something here, but I'm not quite sure yet. If you guys have any recommendations for any of this, please let me know in the comment section. I would be greatly appreciated of that. And then the next couple things, just a couple small things, that these are probably way long shots, and maybe, I don't know, really just depends on what the future holds of everything. The military ramp, obviously Phoenix has a big presence of KC-135s. Now obviously the model right here, it's not necessarily proper and correct. It has that Arizona National Guard tail, and there's not 10 of those or whatever. So I believe that's here, or past T2. Or maybe on the other side over there. I kind of forgot. It's been a couple nights since I've looked at that as well. That's just a long shot. If Gemini releases the proper model, that would make sense to do it. Like, it's kind of like the American 737 example. I would be willing to do it if they were all plain with the gray tail for the KC-135s, but I can't do it with the special, 10 specials. I don't think that makes sense. So that's an option if I'm able to find ways to do that. And we can expand this way. Get another couple fold-up tables rocking and come out this way. So whatever's here, I'll have to look on the satellite. Keep in mind, we're looking from the north, but I'll head back over to the south side because that's how it is on the aerial. So that'll make it kind of more seeable. So whatever's on this side, north of these concourses, we'll be able to do that. The final main thing at the current time that would be something I would like to do, but I'm not sure exactly how, is the American Airlines hangar facilities. They're right here. Obviously, we don't have room to do that right there. It's not going to be doable. We literally have 2 foot barely as it is, and right there we have like about 9 inches. So again, another unrealistic potential, but pretty much over here I think it's a bunch of GA stuff and just a bunch of random stuff on the north side of 826. Maybe we put it here, I'm not sure, just a thought, but that one's kind of down the line, and with all the American aircraft needed to fill these gates, that's going to be kind of not the biggest necessary deal I need to do. Speaking of that, you guys are probably wondering, well, we have 100 gates here. How do you expect to fill them all? Well, this is kind of what I've been doing over the last 6 months, trying to build up my Airbus collection, because obviously they have a big presence at the Phoenix real life airport, Phoenix Sky Harbor in real life. So we have quite a few here. If you guys are unaware, pretty much what files the Phoenix, we're gonna go over mainline first.
All the A319s here, besides the Sharklets, these do not file. These are American Legacy. They don't go to Phoenix at the current time. All the LUS stuff here, we can get America West, maybe a couple more of those, but that will be looking good. I'm proud of my A319s right now. Quite a few A320s as well. 5 is about the right number. Obviously, we have a couple of bad Qs in there, but pretty much we are looking really good on the, looks like I got them a little out of order, but we have the A320s, which 5 is about right. These guys, the A321 fence tips. Really hoping NG makes one, that would be fantastic, but for the current time, these 4 will do enough. But we do have all these Sharklets. These do file in the Phoenix fairly decently, but I would say more like a 2-3 ratio for the model airport would be closer, but we'll use all 4 to make that right. And obviously, one of the biggest and coolest presents of Phoenix Sky Harbor is the Airbus A321neo. They have a large presence of Phoenix. Now, these two, obviously, they don't look good. I haven't decided whether I'm going to use them or not. I said I was going to retire them, but I've been thinking about it, especially with the upcoming, still having a ton of deliveries. And it's really all going to depend whether NG makes another one, Gemini does, or if NG makes one, if Gemini makes another, what? I have 3. That's not going to be enough long term. We'll have to see on that one. But we have these. If we need to go to dire situations, I will use them. And then 737s have good presence, not a ton, but not all of these will be realistic, but I'll probably put quite a few of them in, if not all of them. I have not made that final decision quite yet. Regional is going to be a problem for American Eagle. They only filed the CRJ 700s and 900s in the Phoenix. I only have 4 CRJ 700s, so I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to make this work. The CRJ 900 is desperately needed, and honestly, it's about a 50-50 split between 700s and 900s, so another 2 or 3, maybe even 4, kind of what I have with my A319s right now. About that many RJ7s would be good. I'm not going to sit here and cry to fill gates. Obviously, on the apron, we only have like 11, 12 RJ gates, so quite a few of them will be empty, but obviously, Dallas exclusive, there's only 1 left. 145s don't go to Phoenix, that's a fantasy model. RJ2s are retired, 175s are American Legacy stuff, pretty much. So, that is that with the American side. Southwest, we have a pretty good stack. The only one that I will not use from what we have here, there's a couple righteous down there. I don't know if I'm going to use Lone Lawyer 1, obviously, as a sticker. It's not technically realistic, but it's an option if we really want to fill it. But the rest of these are more than usable. We have quite a few now, and I'm very proud of where we're at. And I plan to maybe probably get another CB splits from restocks, and we'll be rocking pretty well with there. Great on Spirit, Frontier, Sun Country we're good on with rotation. Great on JetBlue, great on Chester. Perfect on Hawaiian, got both assets needed. That will take me to, I got the American wide bodies, by the way, we're more than set. Uniteds, we're good. May need another, or 2 models like to get 737-900 new livery when that comes out. And I'm not sure on the stats 757, but I'd like to get Continental Globe, but if they repaint one, get a new livery, that would be perfect. But we got an extra 175 and A319 now, so we're great there. Delta, we're pretty good. Would like a 752 with winglets for for charters pretty much. Rest of them, we need the E175 with enhanced winglets, but these will do for now. And then we got every other asset we need. I can go buy it if we don't. Oh yeah, got Army 321s from NG coming in. That's a killer time for that to be released on the October update. Plethora, plan to get 3 normal ones, and thank you, so that'll be great. Internationals, obviously Eurowing for mission. We have quite a few British, but that's probably not going to be 7810, so I'll buy 789 or whatever when that's necessary. And Eurowings, if I can find a Condor, etc., like Eurowings, and then whatever. Gontour, JSX, Boutique Air, not planning to represent that at the current time. Maybe that'll change in the future. Cargo, we're looking good. Need a FedEx MD-11 and probably a couple other assets, but for the most part, we're pretty much set there. The final model thing, really, for the commercial stuff, is the internationals. Narrow bodies, the Mexican and Canadian carriers, pretty much. Reach 321 needed, can't find one from AC, so that's kind of where we're at there. I don't think Aeromexico flies. I've been really behind on that, but I don't think they fly the Phoenix at the current time. I may be wrong on that. Air Canada, mainly Rouge, but whatever they end up flying, whether the MAX comes back or if it's the 737, A320 or whatever, we'll figure that out, but we have these assets for now. WestJet, perfect pretty much. Actually, some guy had like a special design Tel 700 that I'm trying to contact. I don't think he's got back to me, but that would be great if we can get that. But we're more than good. Swoop doesn't fly, but we have two 800s and 700. That's more than doable. Westjet has a big presence during seasonal times in the winter. They fly a plethora of routes normally to like Winnipeg, and they normally just do Calgary, but like Winnipeg, Toronto, plenty of routes. There's quite a few of them. Vitas doesn't fly, I don't think they do. That's slipping my mind. A couple months if I sleep. Valaris need a 320 with sharklets, and we're pretty much good there. So I'm sure we're 43 minutes. Yeah, this is going to be a long video, but this I really want to go into detail for the guys that do care about this type of stuff. I'm big on it, so I really want to do this not only for myself, but for the guys that really want to know. So the first update will be Wednesday, September 30th at 4 o'clock Central Time, Central Standard Time. If you would be more than willing to watch that video, if you made it through this one, I'm going to only help you watching that one. I would really appreciate it. But the first update, we're not really going to go into much of the concourses or anything since we did that here. We're just going to jump straight into it as a normal operation. So this video was exclusively to go over each and everything necessary that you need to know about the model airport and what I plan to do. This is mainly the, yeah, obviously you got your information about Phoenix, but this was mainly for my plans with the model airport. So this has been a big project, guys, and I'm super excited to debut it for you guys. September 30th, 4 o'clock Central Standard Time will be the first airport update, and I really hope you guys are excited for it. This will obviously be a monthly airport series on the channel. I'm planning to do it every last Friday of the month, so Dallas will move back to the third Friday or second to last Friday of the month, and then Phoenix will be the last Friday. That's my plan. But obviously, life doesn't go according to plan, and we're going to have some changes in there. Obviously, the first update's coming out Wednesday, not the last Friday as initially planned. So, but it will be a monthly series, and I'm really excited to go into it. So it will be in 2 days if you guys are watching this live when it comes out. So I really hope you guys are excited for it, or as excited as I am. And I want to thank you guys so much for all the support. It's been absolutely crazy. We're almost at 2,100 subscribers, and that just really makes my day to see that we're making strides, and just really makes my day. So we do have some videos coming as well. October's loaded. We got the giveaway coming, and then we have a great round of airport updates. We got tons of new models that will have pivotal roles in the normal airports that we already do, and then I have a couple special things. We gotta get back to the airport, and there's a lot of stuff still to go over. So it's been fun, guys. I've been really excited to get this going. This has been a long project. Probably nearly 100 hours put in. This has been something I'm really excited to get out for you guys, and I'm really excited to see how you guys think. But I'm sorry I wasn't able to do the how to build series. It just honestly, with just timing and then needing more time to put in the Phoenix and all of that, it really just didn't work out that well. But that's definitely a video for a small airport to do in the future. But yeah, I'm sorry that this got pushed back multiple times. It was originally supposed to happen in July, and then we got pushed back to August, and then we got pushed to finally September, which we're happening. So like I said, monthly series. Definitely go share around, tell your friends. I would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, guys, it's finally here. I know you guys have been excited, and it's time, guys. It's time to rock and load, and we're gonna get this thing done. So that's where we're gonna leave off today, guys. If you've made it this far in the video, give me a, I have to copy Citrus on his interview stuff. Let's go drop a, let's drop a 10 for 10 concourses. Drop a 10 in the chat if you made it to this point. Thank you, Citrus, for that idea. That's pretty epic. But what a video it's been, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to thank you guys so much. Please do not miss the first episode of Phoenix. It's going to be bonkers, and I'm really excited to go. So I'm sorry this video was long, but we had a lot to go over. So once again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and it's finally time. Phoenix, let's rock and load, guys, and I hope you guys are excited for it. So my name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, guys. Stay safe. Trust the process. Be happy. Do what you love, and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon, as Redriveraviation is signing off.